Well, it has been going on for quite some time, and throughout these past few months, there's been a lot of anger throughout those people who work in the public, but also the private sector. What they demand is they want better conditions when it comes to labor laws, and these reforms have been in place actually by the government since last April. Now, it depends who you speak to. They have a different stance when it comes to these labor reforms. So if you speak to those who support the government or the government, they say that the reason they've made this is to create the job market more modernized, to boost competitiveness, but also to align with EU standards. This way, they say that they're going to boost more employment. Now, if you do speak to opposition or unions, what they say and they argue here is that the only thing that these reforms will manage to do will be able to actually bring more insecurity in the workplace and make people who already work and in a minimum wage more vulnerable when it comes to negotiating with potential employers. Unions also are claiming that this will only make things more difficult for them as the months go by. But it's not only about the reforms, it's also about the low wages. As the country right now is experiencing high living costs and inflation, the low wages, as unions are saying, are not going in hand with these high costs. We spoke to some of those people, some of the teachers, some of the firefighters, some of the people who work in the private sector. And what they told us here is that it's very difficult for them to live on a minimum wage. Let's have a listen.
A newly appointed teacher earns €770, and with the current property prices, the annual cost for empty rental properties is €550. Honestly, how does the government expect us to live on €200?
Our primary demand is for salary increases and the signing of collective labour agreements. We also call for the abolition of precarious employment relationships, such as the freelance contract system, under which all graduates from polytechnics work in technical companies.
But also firefighters came out to today's protest, those who work in the seasonal part of firefighters, the ones who only work throughout the summer, battling those wildfires. They came out demanding that they want employment throughout the year, saying simply that climate change is here and it's affecting Greece. And it's not only the wildfires that is affecting the country, but also floods that come after that. Also, in today's protest, a number of people from supporting the conflict in Palestine, supporting actually those who are in need of what is going on in Palestine, and trying to pressure the Greek government to not fund or send any money to NATO to be able to provide help to Israel, but also to close the country's ports when it comes for weapons that are passing by Greece and traveling to Israel.